Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you are in. This is the Big Girl Diary. I got a good one for you today on this live stream, and I hope you would like to come up and talk to me. Three topics: Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, Buffalo, New York, and Madison Cawthorn, who keeps on giving. Just when you think he can't give enough, he gives you some more. Oh, let me do the okay. Amber Heard, Johnny Depp has been battling it out for about 22 days now. A lot has been going on there. So much wild information, accusations that seem so far fetched on one hand. On the other hand, it's highly plausible. But however, it's what do you think? Do you believe that Amber Heard is lying through her teeth, or do you think Johnny Depp is lying through his teeth? Which one do you believe? Now, so far, what we do know is that Johnny Depp met Amber Heard on the Run Diaries. I don't know if that's the name of the movie or not, but met her on a movie set and he was swept away by her beauty. And he was so swept away that he left his long-term girlfriend slash wife and children for Amber Heard. That is, in my opinion, not only powerful, but I think on one hand, he was having a midlife crisis that cost him a lot of money. Cost him a lot. Amber Heard saw an older guy in a way to further her career, but I do not doubt that she did not love him. I believe that there was something about the situation that she loved. Whether if it was his money that can put her into a better financial position to where her family greatly benefit, her friends benefit, living in his houses, his sister lived in her house. I mean, it seemed like a a college sorority party that just simply didn't stop. And Johnny Depp was too old for that situation, in my humble opinion. But it doesn't take away the fact, the liable suit. Now, do we, or scratch that, does one believe that Johnny was a sucker and fell for it? Did he fall for the Kool Aid? Did Amber get suckered in? Who knows? But somebody in this situation is lying. Now, let's look at yesterday's testimony. That was too hard. That right there was too hard. Oh, but before I get to that, Buffalo, New York, 10 people killed, all black people. The first thing that was said was the young man was mentally ill. I don't know why that is the first thing what they run to. He was mentally ill. Or was he just filled with hate? My question is, for me, I would like to know who raised him. Not only who raised him, but who was he around for him to adopt those types of beliefs? Now, before I even get into the lower levels of it or peeling the onion back, the news said that the year before he made racist rants, and it got to the point to where they thought he was mentally ill, and they put him in, what do you call it, to the psych ward. They put him in the psych ward, and and he stayed for a day and a half. Now, I'm not an expert on I'm not an expert on mental health situations. However, what I do know is that they do not let you go if you're a danger in a day and a half. Nah, they don't. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. They do not do that. They most definitely do something about that. They keep you for a longer period of time, and you leave out with a preliminary diagnosis. You do not go in there have it and they just let you out. No. Mm. You go in with a problem, you come out with a diagnosis. There is something going on here, even if it is slightly incorrect, but it's a ballpark area. They don't just do that. No. Now, Madison Cawthorn, he is the gift that keeps on giving. I like Cawthorn. Madison Madison Cawthorn, I had a run-in with him on my other channel, Politics with Laura. I did a video on him, and yeah, I put a video up expressing that, so I'm not even going to bring that over here. But however, I thought it was quite interesting. He is the North Carolina senator who lost his seat and couldn't understand why. 26 years old, he became the youngest senator in the United States to where uh, the youngest handicapped senator in the United States. Youngest handicapped. And I believe Carolinians were swept away, and his district were swept away by his story. He had a great story. He was handicapped. He dealt with adversity, and he saw the people that were hidden. He said, I see you and I hear you, became senator. When he became senator, that's when all the scandals started. He had scandals throughout his 2 years. It got to the point to where it got so ridiculous that not the Democrat, the Republican Party had to do something. So I would like to know what you would like to talk about. Amber Heard, Johnny Depp libel lawsuit, the 10 people killed in Buffalo, New York, or Madison Caldwell. We can go back and forth however you want to do it. So I'll start it. And I think we talked a lot about Johnny Depp. I think a lot's being said about the 10 people killed in North Carolina. I'm sorry, in Buffalo, New York, but not much is being said about Madison Cawthorn. However, I would like to pay him a little extra attention because he needs it. Madison, he's a straight laced Republican. Well, yeah, straight laced Republican. Now, the stuff, the scandals that he had were just wild and outrageous. I don't know where all those scandals came from, but I do know they all had a basis. Like the sex tape, that was hysterical. I can't even call that a sex tape. The only thing I could call that is a childish prank going horribly wrong that made him embarrassed, but it humiliated the Republican Party. You just don't do stuff like that. You just don't. For him to crawl up on the bed with a sheet on and put his private area in a man's face that is sleeping, he called it a prank. Whomever took that video and leaked it out like that, hey, hey, your best friend can become your worst enemy. You just don't know whenever it comes to politics, power, and being seen. There's just something to say about those three things. Not being seen, but having attention. Politics and power and attention. It attracts the most unlikely people that you would ever think. His wife, that he married, Christy. Oh, I can't remember her last name. It's a hard last name. However, she took one look at him, senator, being a senator's wife, having that prestige. I am most definitely sure that she loved him. I do. But when they got married, everything just got crazy. Now, if he is inappropriately touching people, his behavior is off. He has his staff that are complaining, lodging complaints about him, filing complaints. The Republican Party was trying to get his behavior under control to no avail. That's a problem. His wife wasn't even able to control the situation. She just had a terrible problem with it. And as soon as they got married, shortly after, they're in marriage counseling. Now you got to stop and think. Did she see that behavior before it happened? Or did he see that behavior before it happened? I can't say if it were him or her, but I would safely say it had a lot to do with him. I say that because when he was running for the Senate or Congress, his school that he went to, what was it Patrick Henry Patrick College in Virginia? His class wrote an open letter opposing him not to be a Senate because of his sexual depravity. You can find that in the newspaper. It's reported. Everything that I'm saying has been reported in the news. So it's not anything new. I'm not making anything up. It's out there. Yeah, it's out there. So now that he lost his seat to another Republican contender, what they say was he it was a close call. I don't know. I really don't. Well, hey, anything is possible. When he lost his seat, then there are reports coming out saying that he's going to the MAGA, becoming a dark MAGA. Who knew there was one of those? It's almost like Luke Skywalker going over to the dark side because he got mad because he didn't win the Senate seat. So because of that, he's going to take revenge by going to the dark side, siding with Darth Vader. I'm not making light of it. I'm not. I'm just sort of like, Okay, yeah, I am making light of it. Now, back to the 10 in Buffalo, New York. I do not like calling anyone young a racist. No, I don't like calling anyone that. However, this guy, this young man, has proven himself to be just that. And this is the reason why I don't like calling young people racist, is because their ideology comes from someplace. When you're born, you have a clean slate. You don't do hateful things because you don't know hate. You don't know love. That's what you're taught. Actually, love is more, it is more natural. Children love. Okay, I'm not going to get all into human, what do you call it? Oh, human growth. I'm not going to get into that. But this type of behavior and mindset is taught. I don't know who got their hands on him and turned him into what he became. And when he picked up that gun, not that it had nigger written on or the N word written on it, when he pulled the trigger, he took those beliefs and actually made that into a racist act. So I can most definitely say that he's a racist. I take no joy in that, none whatsoever. It takes a while for a person to become a racist. They take whatever ideologies they have, their experiences, and they put it into their head that this is what all people are like. So because I had this one or few experiences or what I see other people go through, I'm going to hold that mindset and I'm going to put that on a whole group of people and I'm just going to leave it there. That takes a while to get to. But that young man, he got there like that. Now, he put out on his social media how he hated black people. Okay. Stand in line. Everybody hates somebody. Stand in line. But what really bothers me the most is when you have people like this, and the first thing what you do is say, mental illness. And the sheriff, the Buffalo Police Department, quickly said that he was mentally ill. Now, that was not their place to do that. That was way out of their jurisdiction to label someone mentally ill without a diagnosis and not being seen by a doctor. I did not see them run out and say, oh, he's a racist. No, that's not what they did. And there are a certain few people within any and every government agency that are going to sweep certain behaviors or minimize them to keep whatever the person did, whatever they did, to make it shed light on a whole group of people. Now, okay, how can I say this? Okay. Whew. One thing is that there is a certain segment in the white community that have that mindset. And it's sad that they do. Because when people act like that young man in Buffalo, New York, that makes the whole white race look like him. Namely, because of the history of the United States and because of the behavior of some white people. Well, it was more common practice because it was law, and that was how society was then. There are people now, and they're so few in number, that have that same mindset. Let me go ahead and change. That have that same mindset that has never gone away. Now, I did a previous video called the Alfalfa Club. Now, the Alfalfa Club is a group that celebrates Robert E. Lee's birthday every last week in January. They have this big old shindig to where the very rich of the rich people rub elbows with the very top of government. You see presidents, Supreme Court, senators, Congress people, to where wealthy businessmen and actors all are in a room and they roast each other and they celebrate Robert E. Lee's birthday. Now, he, everybody knows, was a Confederate soldier. And there was a lot to what was going on back at that time, not only slavery, but there were other things that were going on, but namely slavery was a cash crop. So not you're invited to that. You're only invited. This year, Elon Musk was not only invited, but he hosted the after party here in DC. And his home is not far from here, well, where I'm at. Not far. I don't have that kind of money, but yeah. Now, back to Heard. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Now, I gotta say, Amber Heard's sister, she did a terrible job. Oh, it was awful. Okay, it was hard for me to even listen to. I did a 4 hour stream yesterday, which I wanted to pull my hair out. But Amber Heard's sister, there are certain things men just don't do. And what Whitney Heard described, or whatever her last name is, described, there is no man on a planet unless if a transgender woman may do something like this. Because a transgender woman takes on a lot of characteristics of women, for the most part. She claimed that Johnny Depp ran up the stairs and hit her in the back. Mm-mm, no, didn't come and hit her in the back. No, that men do not do that. Then, then Amber Heard's sister said, "Well, then I saw him hit my sister, and then I slapped him in the face." Okay, I see her doing that, defending your sister. Then she said Johnny did something. No way. I don't care. I don't care if he's the most small, skinny man that weighs 80 pounds, would never do this. He would never take Amber by the hair, pull her back, and hit her in the face. No, men don't do that. Men square off. Whether if he could fight or not, he's going to square off and fight you, not pull your hair and no. Women do that. Women do that. I do not. No, no. Pull all the men in the world, from the most masculine man to the most fragile man. They will all say the same. Okay, I would stake my reputation on it. Johnny Depp is like what, 6 feet, somewhere around there. I just don't see him grabbing her by her hair and hitting her like that. Not only like that, but doing that in public. He would lose all man points. He would get kicked out of the man's club. They would say, "Nah, Johnny, we don't do that. We don't grab women and hit them. Nah, women do that. You got to get out this club." I see him getting put out the club. That's what I see. I just don't see it. No, 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 no. Not today. Not tomorrow. No, just don't see it. So it just doesn't make any sense. Oh, another thing. The guy who developed hashtags. Now, I was listening to him quite intent and with great observation. I was really listening to him. And he contradicted himself. He did. He said that when he looked at, let me see, let me make sure I get this right. He said that when he was searching through the algorithms on Twitter, he looked at hashtag Amber Heard, hashtag Amber Turd. I like that's funny. Okay, I'm sorry. Hashtag Justice for Johnny. Hashtag hoax, fake. Okay. Now he said that he did not put them in quotations. Now, if you know anything about research, quotations are extremely important because that's the phrase in which you're looking for to come just as it is like that. Hash quotations, justice for Johnny. Now, if you say justice for Johnny without quotations, it's going to be justice, Johnny, for all over the place. It's going to be very hard to be able to hammer that down into it coming as justice for Johnny. So, no. And then he said that he was looking for correlations. Now, when Johnny Depp's attorneys start talking to him, then he said, "Oh, I was looking for this, specifically for that." Now, whenever you do a search, you always start off with a hypothesis. You do. You have to come up. You have to have some kind of guidelines, some kind of questions to answer. You just don't just jump into anything without looking for something specifically. That right there, I'm like, nah, nope, no. I peeped him. Mm-mm, don't believe it. No, 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 no. I do not believe him. No, no, I do not believe him. Now, what got me was Ellen Barkin. I didn't recognize her. She was an actress back in the 80s and 90s. She did some really good movies. And she was salty as all outdoors. She went when she said correction, not a friendship, a sexual. We it was simply sexual. We didn't have a relationship. Like She was still pissed. I gotta say, Ellen Barkin, she did not age well. Ooh, she didn't age well. Ooh. Now, when she said that Johnny, she has, and this is my word saying this, but basically paraphrasing that, whenever she was with Johnny Depp, that when was he not drunk? When was he not high? I mean, ooh, all that salt was coming out. But what really got me out of concern was Marilyn Manson. Ooh, ooh, he is a very dark, dark figure. And just anyone who hangs with Marilyn Manson, that right there took some big points away, in my opinion. If you look up Marilyn Manson, he is, I'll put it like this, in my opinion, a not so nice guy. And I really can't believe that Johnny Depp even had anything to do with him. But what hurt me to my heart, it did, because I always thought Johnny was a believer. When I learned that he wasn't a believer, I'm like, oh, Johnny, you're not a believer. Oh, okay. However, that does not take away from this case here. I mean, I can have my heart hurt because he doesn't believe in a higher power, which I'm not even going to get into, because whenever you think about the what do you call them? Not the naturalist. Oh my goodness, I can't think of it right now. I'm having an overload on information. But whenever you evolution, evolution to me makes absolutely no sense at all. It doesn't. It really doesn't. And I'm not going to get into the long drawn out, because I've had debates with people who believed in evolution, and they always, once you corner them into that little corner, and believe me, they take you there. They take you to that little corner to where they finally admit to there is a designer. I'm like, damn it, why didn't you say that from Jump Street? Why does somebody have to beat you down in a little corner for you to sit there and simply admit to what you really believe in? That makes no sense to me at all, but that's just my 2 cents. But I was totally hurt that he doesn't believe. Okay, I'm done. Oh man. Alrighty. I have a sneaky suspicion, and this is just me thinking out loud. I predict on May 20th, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that Johnny Depp is going to win this liable suit. Amber, oh my goodness, Amber. She made too many mistakes. Whatever, everything that she did was not thought out. It was not well thought out. It just was her being young, trying to find a way to get a little bit of cash from this man. I mean, there are so many people saying things about her. But whenever I find a person that is sexually fluid, okay, a person who is sexually fluid basically has no allegiance to one group or the other. They go whichever way that benefits them. She was with a woman. She broke and beat up the woman because that right there, she went to jail for that. And what all women do, drop the charges to go back, be lovey-dovey all over again. They do all that dumb stuff. Let me take that back. People have their own journeys. So let me leave it as that. Then she gets with a man to only do the same thing. But it's very difficult for a woman to be with a man and try to outman a man. That don't work. You're not going to outman a man. And when you cannot outman a man, then you want to lie on him, say all kinds of things that are not true, that only makes it harder for women that have those issues with men to only leave him to go back to a woman. You can't be like this. No, that is an unstable mind, in my opinion. In my opinion, I'm not saying that what I'm saying is begin all, end all. No, it's just what makes sense to me. If you're able to jump back and forth with no problem, then you have no sexual stability. It's very hard to be with a person like that because how can you trust someone who goes between men and women and Amber's with Johnny? How can he trust her being with a woman when she goes both ways? I mean, I understood what Johnny was saying when he was calling her, what was it, camp counselor, lesbian, or something like that. And whenever she's around a woman and they're like hugging up, what does that hug mean? It's like this: a man can call his woman a baby, and baby happens to be a term that's being thrown around, and then she's outside with him. He's like, hey, baby, talking to another woman. Wait, you just called me baby. And the way you said it sounded a little bit too intimate. You know, that's all that I'm saying about that. But outside of that, write down what you think about the subjects that I just talked about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Now, I believe Johnny Depp is going to win, and I would say breaking news: BGD, Big Girl Diary, predicts that he may get between $30,000 and $50,000 from Amber Heard, but guess who's going to pay for it? Elon Musk. You want to know how I come up with that? That's going to be another video. Amber's a gift that keeps on giving. Okay, I want to thank my subscribers. I want to thank you. Thank you so much. I want to thank the passerbys. Thank you. But you could also like and subscribe. Help a sister out. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And I want to thank you for taking this journey with me. Outside of that, thank you for stopping by.